Lights up!
And welcome to the latest episode of Lights Up, the podcast of Putney Theatre Company. I'm thrilled and delighted to say that I'm joined today by three cast members of our final main stage production of our autumn-winter 2024-25 season. We have Tom, we have Megs, and we have Tim. Now, Accidental Death of an Anarchist. What joy, what fun. Now, Tom, remind me, what is this particular adaptation? Not the original one by Dario.
No. Released, maybe is the right word. In 2022, Tom Basden's production.
Now, this is a bang up to date.
Yes. Lots of modern references, lots of current things, that some of which we've even added to as well.
He says we, that's a royal we, very much.
The thing is, Tim Ardell, I know you of old, so I know that if there's any opportunity to be shoehorning in any additional material, what, he says?
No, I'm not going to pretend I'm sticking religiously to the script because, let's be fair, my middle name is Paraphraser. But this is not an ad-libbing festival like some of the shows I might have been in the past. It's not a pantomime, as Tom's character very specifically says on more than one occasion. So, no, I'm very much in character and no, not a single wink to the audience. From me.
Right, but you break the fourth. You don't break the fourth wall.
No, I don't break the fourth wall at all. That's all the Maniac's job.
Well, I was going to say, I ought to say to our dear listeners what your roles are, your characters. So, Tom, you're playing...
Maniac.
Megs, you're playing... Oh, you play two, don't you? Go on.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a weird one. In the beginning, I am PC Jackson. And then in the second act, I am Phelan, a very sort of woke, aware journalist.
Which I'm guessing is a beautiful dichotomy to... Tim's character, and you're playing...
Superintendent Andy Curry.
And what is Superintendent Andy Curry like?
I'm perhaps a little bit stereotypically old school.
So what's his take on Phelan's wokeness?
Well now, I think certainly on the face of things, he's desperately trying to show how similarly woke and up-to-date and forward-thinking the Metropolitan Police Force is these days.
Tell me, Tom, who is the Maniac? Why is he there? And what is his main purpose of the play?
Well, Maniac is a genuine maniac, if that's quite the right word to use. He has been in 16 different institutions, as you will find out quite early on in the show. And he has a tendency to impersonate other people and create identities and sees himself as a bit of a thespian actor.
Oh, so now this is jolly fun, isn't it, for the actor? Come on.
Yes. An actor playing an actor. Brilliant!
Like all the stereotropes. No, that's not even a word. All the tropes of being an actor you can now throw in. So all those people that you've actually acted with in the past.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've taken inspiration from a few people that I know.
And your cast members.
Well, some of them. Yeah.
So we start the play, and the Maniac is on stage.
Yes, enters onto the stage. He's just been arrested, but has somewhat run away from his police captors and is inside of the police station where there was recently, well, many, but in particular one death of an anarchist that had taken place.
Accidental
Death of an Anarchist.
And this is the whole crux of the play. Obviously, It is the title of the play, Accidental Death of an Anarchist. So you come in, having been arrested, as not obviously known as the Maniac. They don't call you the Maniac in the play.
No, he's never referred to... He plays many different characters and they have names.
Right.
So he gets referenced as different people who he's playing. And yeah, he's a bit... I believe as well he's planned to be arrested. He wants to be there. He's almost akin to the Joker in Batman. Everything is planned.
So has the Maniac got arrested on purpose in order to bring to the attention or to talk about the death of this anarchist?
Yeah, to find out what's going on, to expose that it was, he believes, not accidental. I think that's the whole kind of story of the play, uncovering whether or not, or proving whether or not it was an accidental death.
And the corruption and the incompetency of the Met Police, which brings me on beautifully to Tim. So you play Superintendent Curry.
Mm-hmm.
And what is his role in the whole of the Maniac's arrest and subsequent action of the play?
Oh, well, he hasn't actually been involved in the Maniac's arrest.
Ooh.
And he gets... some of the Maniac's activities lead to him being called into the scene, basically. And he then spends much of the rest of the play a combination of, or sort of flitting between being a bit angry and being a bit bemused, I think is probably how I would sum up my character's journey.
So this Maniac basically comes and he's a force of nature.
Definitely.
Bit of a whirlwind,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of frenetic activity going on stage, and you are just sitting there going, what the hell?
Yes. Sometimes in slightly stronger language.
Yes,
than
I was
that.
trying not to say that. Did you tell?
And my instinct was to jump in with a line of mine, but similarly, no, family audience, let's not. Yes, and I'm obviously trying to maintain the official position that, you know, we have done nothing wrong, that we're all wonderful, we're nice and progressive.
And of course, it's the Met Police of 2025, not the Met Police of 1975.
Exactly, so we're definitely 21st century forward thinking. But with a combination of the Maniac's efforts and dialogue being more overtly highlighting the flaws inherent in the system. And then also, I think what the police do is very cleverly written by Tom Basden. You know, the police give themselves away an awful lot.
So, of course, there are more characters than just the three of you. We have Jacob playing Detective Daisy, your counterpart in How to the Baskervilles.
Yes, Jacob can only be in plays at Putney as long as there's another Iredale in the cast, it seems.
Any Iredale? Oh yes, of course, because
Yeah.
he was played your wife's husband in Flarepath.
Yeah, that's a confusing sentence, but yes.
Isn't it? Yes. We're very progressive here at Putney Theatre Company. So we have Jacob, we also have PTC newcomer, David, playing Inspector Burton.
That's right.
And we have Harry, this is his second or third production, and he's playing PC Joseph.
Correct.
And of course, Megs and Tom, I should say to you, brand new to PTC as well. A very, very warm welcome.
Thank
You. Yeah.
Now, my darling, you're playing both PC Jackson and Fee Phelan.
I am, yeah.
So, PC Jackson, she is, am I right in thinking she's the only woman character in the play?
In the police force.
Yeah, I think she is definitely the token woman that they were kind of like, just get her in just so we can tick that kind of diversity box.
And is that very apparent as well?
It feels very apparent. I think because when she is on the stage, she's with Burton, who's very much a kind of older, maybe more traditional policeman with his sort
Are
of
we
attitude.
saying misogynistic here?
Maybe. I mean, I was trying to, you know, not say it as kind of bluntly, but yeah, probably. And I think Jackson is quite young woman, maybe thinking, oh, I can change it from the inside, but realistically is probably just going to get caught.
We love that naivety though, don't we?
Well, you know, you've got to
Yay.
start somewhere.
But as Fee Phelan, totally different.
Fee Phelan is a whirlwind, I think. She wants to sort of really have a big scoop and a real hard-hitting piece of journalism.
So does she know that the Anarchist has fallen, I'm doing that in inverted commas, dear listener, fallen out of the window, and is she there basically to interview the police to really see if they give anything away?
I 100% think that Phelan knows what's gone on here, and she's done her research, and she is there to sort of really run rings around these sort of old school coppers, and she's kind of coming in with her very kind of progressive, very up to date with her political correctness and everything.
And to expose
And to basically just expose them, yeah, for sure.
their incompetence.
Absolutely.
So it was written originally in the 1970s. So that's 50 years ago.
Yes, it was taken from a real story wherein a supposed anarchist had died in police custody. The Italian government tried to shut the play down as well, so it started off on a very small scale and grew.
So how does this adaptation differ from the original? Has everybody read the original? Or looking at me blankly?
I've seen part of it. There is of the English adaptation. There is on YouTube. There is a full length version that you can watch.
But this is very different, no?
Yes, yeah, very different. The bones of the play are the same, but the modern references, I think the characters, particularly what they're talking about, certainly. I'm sure there would have been a similar move for feminism, but I don't think in the original play there are any female characters at all.
I don't think there are, actually.
Yeah.
But this is the genius of this adaptation, isn't it? By making it as literally today. There are and I think you have the opportunity to put references in as the rehearsal.
Yeah, even in the script, actually, there is a particular part towards the end of the play with a sort of asterisk where it says, this is how we performed it in 2022, but if you want to add up-to-date statistics in terms of the police, in deaths in custody, or things that have possible corruption, anything that's gone wrong, please do. So they give us the liberty to do it.
Which is also quite hard-hitting for an audience, isn't it? Because the play is a farce, let us remind ourselves. So it's a lot of frenetic energy on stage, a lot of laughs, a lot of fun. But there's also quite a serious message.
Definitely.
Yes.
100%.
And how do you feel that sits within the comedic value of the play as a whole?
I think it's the sort of the classic, I'm going to be a bit stereotypical here, but say that, the British comedic facility for juxtaposing serious with comedy. It's the Blackadder goes forth effect. And
Nice.
This is a rare occasion where I've actually seen a production of this, and I've seen a play, and I remember it really comes as a bit of a gut punch. There's a particular, I don't want to go into spoilers, but the Maniac has a particular monologue which I think is a really key one for focusing the audience away from the frivolity and hilarity that's happened thus far and into the more important message that has been percolating along under the surface.
Now, how have rehearsals been? Because it's pretty full on for you, Tom, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, the rehearsal schedule I was called to every single rehearsal.
Which is an incredible gift for an actor, full stop,
Yes.
isn't it, really? To
Yeah.
have that opportunity to be on stage and it's such a peach of a
It's
role.
it's a huge role.
But what I would say, though, interestingly, although the Maniac is there all the time, I always think this play is very much about the ensemble. It's not just about one person, and I think that's the genius of the writing, that everybody is just as important to the action.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what's actually great as well, because without giving too much away, the Maniac will change character. But with all great comedy, sometimes you have someone who has the punchline and someone who's the sort of the straight guy. And I definitely get to do both. Everyone has amazing punchlines and amazing moments that are so funny. Quite often, a lot of the time as well, particularly through the middle of the play, is setting other things up for someone else to smash out the park.
Nice.
This is my second Tom Basden at Putney, and my second Dario Foe as well, for that matter. And I certainly think with Tom Basden, the previous thing that we did a few years back, Party, I've said on previous occasions, is I think on paper the best written comedy that I've done here. A lot of stuff, when you get it up on stage and you add in actions and characterisation and so on and so forth, becomes wonderfully hilarious. But this thing, at the read through, it's the kind of thing where you're laughing out loud just reading the text.
Oh, it makes it so joyful, doesn't it? So how have rehearsals been? You're being directed by, obviously, the genius that is Barney, Hart, Dyke, and the equal genius of Owen T. James. What's that been like?
I mean, for me, this is my first experience as an adult being in a sort of drama group. So for me, it's just been such a wonderful experience, and just learning from everyone's expertise and seeing it all slowly come together, and how we all just, what Tom was saying earlier, it's not just one person who's got the punchline and we're all reacting to it. Everyone in their own right has their own moment where you just think, this is just so funny. And I go home every night after rehearsals and I'm like, I cannot wait for you guys to come and see it. To my family and friends, I'm like, you guys are going to... I think it's hilarious. So when you guys come and see it, I just think it's going to be...
It's one of those ones where, multiple weeks into rehearsal, we're still funny stuff funny, which I think hopefully bodes well.
Absolutely.
I think so.
And what about you, Tom? What's the rehearsal process been?
But it's been great. I was going to say, with having Owen and Barney directing together, so you never know when there's two directors if they're going to clash or have different opinions on things, but they seem to just egg each other on quite a lot. And because it is a farce, we are taking the license to be as silly as possible. And sometimes, someone will have a silly idea and they say, oh, well, if you're going to do that, then we can do this. And then, but then we can do that. And then it adds.
So it escalates.
Yes. Yeah. So it is packed full of silliness and idiocy.
Which makes the serious message of the play even more powerful when you've got this heightened comedy as well. So just one last thing. What can the audience expect from this? I know we've touched on a lot of comedy and, of course, the serious message. What would the audience get from it?
A ruddy good laugh!
Excellent. So, a ruddy good laugh.
A ruddy good laugh!
Nice. Megs?
Probably just say a good night out.
A terrific night out,
Terrific.
surely. So no pressure now, Tom.
I know. Well, hopefully, I would love people to come out from the show and arguing about what was funnier. This bit was funny. No, that was funnier than this. Oh, well, but I would about when this happened. you know, every 3 lines there's a joke.
And I promise you, every time I sneak into a rehearsal, I am laughing within about the first 10 seconds. So seriously, don't miss out on this. Please go to www.putneyartstheatre.org.uk to get your tickets. They're selling really well, selling really fast. You know, I'd just like to remind you that Shakespeare in Love sold out. So don't make the mistake of thinking that you can wait and just get them on the day. Please get them in advance and come and witness this amazing piece of theatre. Well, thanks very much for listening, guys. We will be back soon. We are now looking at ways of actually increasing more episodes of the podcast. So stay tuned, and that will just be faded.
This is a real Putney Theatre Company production. Do share the podcast with your friends and take a look at our website, searching online for the Putney Theatre Company. So that's it for now. See you next time.